Welcome back to the show, everyone. A pleasure to see our next guest. And there is a gluten-free expo coming to Vancouver. You know, everybody hears celiac disease and gluten-free and all this stuff. What does it mean, and how can it be delicious, more importantly?
Well, Leslie Orser is going to tell us about all that and make some delicious food. She's got a great cookbook out called A Celiac is Coming. How are you?
I'm great.
So first of all, why does everybody think they have celiac disease right now? It seems to be en vogue.
Well, I think there's two things that are going on. First, people are finding out about it. Second, doctors are a little bit more willing to diagnose. In my case, my doctor was totally unwilling to even look at me and think I had anything wrong with me.
What is it?
So celiac disease is actually an immune system disease, and you're born with it. A lot of people don't know they have it either, and they usually get diagnosed when they're a baby or somewhere around 40, which was my case. For some reason, you can develop quite normally while you have it. But what it does is your autoimmune system reacts to ingesting gluten, and it totally destroys the cilia in your intestines.
Okay, one more definition.
That's
why it's called celiac.
And what is gluten?
So gluten is a protein that is inside wheat, barley, oats, and rye, or there's one other thing called triticale. I don't know how you exactly say it, but it's a hybrid between wheat and rye. So all it is a little protein in there, and you know, molecularly your body reacts to it.
And how do you feel since you took this out of your diet?
I feel like there's this big veil lifted off of my head, and I'm alert and full of energy, and I only need to sleep 6 instead of 13 hours.
Wow.
So I've got a lot more life.
We were laughing about this because people who don't have it, I mean, it's a tough thing to digest for the human body for the most part anyway. Once we've refined wheats and done all this stuff, it's, you know, so the energy that people feel after they eat a gluten-free meal is far different from when they're, you know, stuffing, you know, all this stuff.
Well, when you think about it too, if your cilia are all destroyed, they're totally flat. That explains it all. You can't absorb any nutrients whatsoever when you have celiac disease.
Well, let's talk about some delicious food and some great recipes we can find in your cookbook. We're going to be doing lettuce wraps today, so tell us what you've got going on there.
This is chicken, mushrooms, water chestnuts, and green onions, and we'll be doing a sauce together. And I also brought a few other little things that we can taste.
Mike, do you want to start
snacking? Did you ever? Yeah, I really do. What? This looks like banana bread?
That's banana chocolate chip loaf, and I kind of jazzed it up a little bit and threw some craisins in there. So
I like to party.
Sweet and tangy.
And what else have we got here on the dessert side?
That is a cinnamon ginger meringue cookie.
Oh, that sounds delicious, because a lot of people think when they hear gluten-free, they think that they can't have things like this, or there's huge limitations, but your cookbook really does show that it's just making a couple of simple changes, and you can still have delicious food.
Really simple changes, and that's some of the things that I brought with me today. Like in a restaurant, they thicken, and they often say you can't have the sauce, but we can give you a plain piece of chicken. All they need to do is use cornstarch.
Really?
How easy is that?
Yeah, no kidding.
It's like cornstarch.
Oh, how arduous, Leslie.
But in exactly the same proportions as you would use wheat, so we're using that in our sauce today. Get a gluten-free broth. Broth is another place where there's hidden gluten, where they have to tell you can't eat it because...
And labeling has gotten so much better.
Yes, there's new rules. There's a whole bunch of people out in the community who actually really worked on that and signed petitions to say...
This banana bread is marvelous. What did you use in that?
There you go. I'm a really busy woman. My real life, I'm actually an accountant, so I have my own firm, so I'm very busy, have kids.
So why not do a cookbook?
So why don't you do a cookbook? I did that while I was traveling. It was really easy. It was easy. It's so silly. But anyways, I use a ready-made flour substitute. I use Pamela's products. I really like it because it has almond meal in it. Thank you.
I mean, it's moist. It's everything, right? Like that you don't necessarily, if you don't know anything about.
You'd think it would be dry and boring.
You would never know, and that's the whole point. And
you would have no idea.
That's right, and that's the whole point about having these expos that we're here to be able to communicate about. On Sunday, we're here to have all these vendors come together, give out samples, let people try all these different things. And it's funny how excited
you hear gluten-free expo, and people are really excited about this.
You know what? I'm telling you, there's 40 people that are going to be exhibiting there, or I wouldn't say people, but different vendors. There, I don't know how many other cookbooks there are, but there'll be people there that are speaking and educating people on how to live a comfortable gluten-free. There's snacks.
I'm over here picking out.
Gluten-free, baby!
Okay, so we've got chicken, mushrooms, scallions,
and some water chestnuts in there.
And then what's next?
So we'll throw into all the stuff for the sauce. We use gluten-free soy sauce, another place where there's a lot of hidden gluten.
You wouldn't think that either.
No, because it's called soy.
Right.
But there's
making
where
a meringue mess over there.
oh, I'm sorry, they're very
they're
crispy.
so good, though.
They're very crispy.
And yet chewy on
And
the
you're
inside.
showing how quick it is to whip up a sauce.
It's relatively quick, but you have to measure. You've got your 2 teaspoons. This is garlic and fresh ginger.
As
this
it
is
should
all
be.
going to go. Absolutely, got to have lots of that. I'm Ukrainian, and this is
bit of
a
the spicy?
Thai chili sauce.
Gotta have
You
that.
just mix it up. And the only thing with cornstarch that I think might be a little bit of the reluctance to use it is you actually have to stir it into something cold.
Yeah.
If you stir it into something hot, it could go.
Clump, yeah.
You'll have
It's
a mess.
just,
Stick
it's
together.
embarrassing. And then-
Have we experienced this before, Leslie? Is that what
yes,
happened?
we have. And then you're trying to be able to serve that. I don't.
Oh, wait,
I don't
Mike,
think
you turn
this
it
has
on.
gone off.
Oh, dude, you asked me to do this? I have no idea what's
We
going on.
had it on.
If we have an
There we go.
explosion, it'll be awesome.
No, it's safety first.
Gluten-free!
It's gluten-free
Wow.
explosion
Okay,
day.
well,
While
wow.
you're stirring that up, I'm going to let you know that the Gluten-Free Expo is happening this Sunday, January 22nd, at the Croatian Cultural Center. The doors are open to the public between 11 and 4, and admission is by donation to the food bank, which is amazing. You can also bring non-perishable goods, and you can also get this wonderful cookbook by Leslie.
Is the
there
banana
as
bread
well.
recipe in here?
Mike, you are just pigging out. He said nothing and eaten all your food.
But wait until you try it. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's
It's
great
actually
banana
not. What I
bread.
did afterwards is I've done some mini collections afterwards because
Yeah.
going back to it's quite an expensive
Yeah.
endeavor to do the book, and it's expensive for people to buy. I did these little mini collections with Chinese food, which this is in. I did sweet treats, which those are in. The meringue cookies are in the book.
Yeah.
Oh, peri peri chicken. We didn't talk
the
about
peri
that.
peri, really
Peri-peri.
quick.
Didn't
I love
talk about
peri-peri.
that.
Me too.
So I gave you some toothpicks so you could just try that right out.
Toothpicks. Mike's going to totally use his finger.
Thanks.
Yeah, get
You
right
obviously
in
haven't spent much
So
time around
talk
it.
about, oh, I know. I was going to bring this really big, huge sausage for you just to keep
Well, that's
in
his
with.
nickname. There you go. We're gonna
I've
take
been
a break.
watching. I've been watching.
And we're going to be back with more right after this. Don't go away.